folks, welcome to New Music 30, that show that shows you exactly what's going on in the Indianapolis music scene and all around the state. So sit back, relax, and hang out for a little bit with us tonight, and we are going to show you some fantastic music by our special guest this evening, Mr. Eric Pedigo. So kick back, grab yourself a beer, hang out for a little bit. Let's get right into the interview. Asking people, how did we meet? I kind of think I know the first time I saw you play.
I think it was Books and Brews in Fishers.
That's probably true. That's been the fairly common like point throughout all of this. It's that, that's kind of the spot, like
Really
that's my home base. That's where I'm at all the time.
Yeah.
So of course that's what it is, the open mic there.
Yeah.
But I think I saw you play somewhere else before that.
It might have been the second thing I was going to say was like Fountain Square Brewery.
That's what I was thinking too. You were opening for like, somebody. I bought the dude's album. It was really good, from Texas. Matthew
Matthew Neely.
Something like that, right?
Yeah.
Matthew, whatever it was. Yeah, he was fantastically good, and I think I bought your album that day too. It's like, I bought everybody's CD, and you're that Sun and Shade. I listened to that album that whole summer. It was in my car. I have like one of those 6 disc changers. I listened to that album a whole bunch. I really, really enjoyed it.
It's a good summertime.
It was a perfect summer album, and just like every time I got in the car, it was like, turn on the stereo. We'll just listen to that. I never changed it to any of the other discs that were in there. I just like played on. So awesome. I really like that.
Glad you enjoyed it.
All right, tell me, so what are you doing these days? Like I know we've all been quarantined. And you've got, I've seen, like, we've got, what's the latest video? I mean, you did that the Carousel video is great. Like, it was just awesome. I remember talking to Brandon when there was in the planning stages of that. Tell me how that kind of fell together.
I knew he was working with Cole Woodruff on some videos and video series and Megan Christine Martin. And I think I originally wanted to do the art gallery series that Cole was kind of putting together with him.
Yeah.
And they had already filled it up, and I was looking to release some music anyway. So it kind of just led from one thing to another, where I thought I'd do a few videos with him. He has great work.
He does.
It looks kind of like an indie film, I think, and it was really, really well done, and couldn't be happier with it. I met him earlier through the scene, but I kind of hung out with him more as I was looking to get a few music videos recorded, and so I knew he was the guy to do that. Plus, I know he writes stories and narratives for other things as well, so I kind of knew that I was in good hands working with him. So.
Right, and I noticed because I'm basically snatching these videos off of YouTube and whatnot, leaving all the credits on and whatnot, and there's been a ton of them so far that all end with that Eat New Media kind of crawler that says, produced by Shoot. So he's definitely been the kind of like music scene videography guy in Indy for the last couple of years. So I want to talk about the Carousel video, just like the people that you got, that are in that. I thought it was cast perfectly. Like if the Indianapolis music scene, it's like you couldn't have gotten a better
I know.
Lineup. What, Gibson Wells?
Gibson Wells. That's great. I mean, and everyone in there is an awesome singer and songwriter, and I don't know that I'd want to have it any other way. So I definitely think Brandon for helping bring those people together to make it happen. And
well, I know when he told me who he had I think it was even before he had asked anybody. He told me who he had in mind for those, and I was like, you got to do that.
Yeah,
you've got to do that.
It's bringing everybody together. And Chris Wolf he's awesome and has the best open mic, and him and Diana's wife are fantastic people to be around, and not just them, but everybody that was involved. It was just such a great day of filming. I mean, the whole theme park was pretty much dead because all the kids had gone back to school at that point. So it's kind of like a ghost town, but just us hanging out there all day was just pretty much had the park to ourselves. Like it was just so fun. It's cool.
As I watched it the other day, I wondered if the dude at the balloon popping station, if that was actually the the guy that ran that that booth, or if you guys brought your own. It's
Oh
like
no, he was actually there working. Yeah, so
right
we
on.
were able to
Cool.
get them, yeah, involved, which was really really cool. So
Yeah,
luckily,
yeah, I really enjoyed that. We'll definitely I'm sure you got a lot of feedback on it too. I'm sure that people that, and even people that don't recognize who's in it, you know,
yeah,
it's like just the thematic way that it kind of plays out, and how it fits with the song and all the, yeah,
yeah.
it's just a great video. I really really I just remember Brandon telling me, it's done, like keep your eyes open. I was like, let me see it. He's like, no, you're gonna have to wait. You're gonna have to wait. I'll make you wait. I was like, all right, I'll wait. That seems really cool. But yeah, I really loved that. I thought it was super super.
Once upon a summer night, back when we didn't have a clue, all we knew was small town life and clinging to our youth, hanging on for dear life as if we fly across the moon. We were shooting stars in endless skies, singing that old familiar tune. Let's go for a ride on this carousel tonight. Your hand in mine, around we go, around we go. Climb aboard, tickets for two. Won't you take us back in time? Basking in this deja vu, back when it was me and you. Let's go for a ride on this carousel tonight. Your hand in mine, around we go, around we go. Let's go for a ride on this carousel tonight. You're having my arm, around we go, around we go. Let's go on this carousel tonight. Let's go, your hand in mine, around we go.
So then the other two videos you've got, which one came first? Hey
Of
Love,
the other two,
here
yeah, it would have been
here
Hey
for
Love
the
was probably the first one that came out of all three, I'd say.
uh-huh.
And I happened to meet um, that videographer through Jake Schlegel. I believe it's
Schlegel,
right.
yeah.
Schlegel, yeah, sorry. I met him through him because I did a New Faces night at Hi-Fi, and one of his friends came up to me and introduced himself, and I found out he was doing videos with him. And so I started following him on Instagram, and I just loved the work that he was doing with Jake. So I asked him if he would meet me at the Fort Harrison Park, and we'd do something out, live out in the wilderness, and it turned out really great. So
Yeah, I liked how that came out too. You can tell that I like that that you didn't just like throw the studio track on top. It's actually
yeah,
alive.
I wanted it to be like a live feel, so you could hear nature in it, and so the audio quality in it's really really good. And I think I feel like I did like 20 takes of it to get the best one. I don't
Sure.
think it was that many, but yeah, I worked really hard to make sure it was a live take versus the studio recording.
Like, oh, you can hear the room, the
Yeah.
same
Oh,
way outside, you can hear the outside. It's got a very particular, sonic feel to it, especially if you throw on your headphones.
Yeah.
You get right into the environment immediately.
Yeah, I think those are like my favorite kind of music videos to watch. Is like I watched a lot of the Mahogany sessions, and pretty much, I mean, there's several YouTube channels out there, but primarily Mahogany sessions. So I wanted to do something similar to that. That I think would just, I don't know, necessarily showcase that I can play the song live, but also just
hey, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but also kind of, I don't know, do something different. I feel like it's just a guitar and vocal track for the most part. So I felt like it was important to be genuine about it and not just play over the track. I don't know. It was important to me personally, but I'm sure everyone has their own opinions and takes on that. So.
Hey love, how you been? It's been way too long. Been missing out what's been going on. I should've wrote you sooner, but you know how it goes. Been so caught up in my own show. Cause I know you're feeling lonely. Just hang on. It's soon to be a distant memory. Hey love. Hey love. Lately I've been thinking, what hurts you worse, holding on or letting go? Just give yourself a little time, be patient. Don't be so hard on yourself. Cause I know you're feeling lonely. Just let go. It's soon to be a distant memory. Hey love, you'll find love. It just takes time. Hey love, you'll find love. It just takes time. Hey love, you'll find love. It just takes time. Hey love, you'll find love. It just takes time. Cause I know you're feeling lonely. Just hang on. It's soon to be a distant memory.
That is there an album that has all these on it? I guess I'm out of the loop there. Is that album called Carousel?
Yeah, it's Carousel EP. Yeah, has those.
Okay, it was an EP. Right on. Is that where all three of these came from?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So they'll be able to find those all in one nice little easy package.
Absolutely. Check it out on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music.
Do you have physical copies? Did you do that this time?
I didn't this time, actually. And part of it was COVID.
Right.
Everyone's streaming nowadays as it is. I mean, I'll probably put an order for some as my shows pick up throughout the summer, but overall it'll be primarily streaming.
I've seen, I think a lot of people are doing exactly that. There's very little. The only reason to even have the physical media is, for something to sell at a show.
Right.
And if you're not playing shows, nobody's ordering that, because they can play it on their phone today, right now. No waiting.
There's so many different places. Exactly. You can hear it for free. So why not?
Totally. Totally. Yeah. I'm kind of glad I think that's given people the ability to do more independent release, and
Oh yeah,
catch a
that's
little
the thing.
steam.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely. Yeah, it's the barriers to entry into the business now are just so low. I mean, anybody can record a song and go through a distributor and place it on the streaming platform. So it's been good for guys like me who don't have a ton of industry connection, and coming from a small town, it's just easier to get the ball rolling with your music career and connecting with people and sharing your art. So
absolutely. And just the ease of technology. This has kind of come up in every interview. Just the fact that, we're in a time now where hit albums have been made in a bedroom.
yeah,
Like
absolutely.
the Billie Eilish comes up very
Yeah.
often, like she and her brother made that like multi-platinum album
Yep.
at the house,
House.
not in a home studio, not in, like some created fancy, you know, high-end studio that just happens to be in their house. No, a laptop and a couple mics,
Yep.
the end.
Yeah.
How
Brilliant.
did, like that blows my mind, especially, being an older dude that's played in the, music for, 40 some years. I can remember being really jazzed about figuring out, hey, if you take two cassette decks,
Yeah. Oh, you can multi-track record, right?
right,
Back in
you do the ping pong back and forth
exactly.
between, like I remember being completely excited about that. And,
Yeah.
my parents had a downstairs bathroom that was kind of separate from the rest of the house. You couldn't hear anybody walking around upstairs. And, you know, and I was two tape decks
Yeah.
and a
Oh yeah.
little Radio Shack 4-channel mixer,
Yep. Nice.
and
So yeah, the
boom,
mixer.
boom,
Nice.
boom, back and forth they went. Of course, it got, a little cruddier every time you bounced it. And,
Of course. Yeah.
but that was state of the art when I was 15.
Yeah.
Now, state of the art on your telephone is the quality of
Yeah.
what's on the radio.
Yeah. Absolutely.
One Yeti mic
Yeah.
and a phone with GarageBand, and you're 80% as high quality as anything out there.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't have all of the bells and whistles, but you've got most of them.
Yeah, it's still a very good setup. I mean, it's come so far.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. And I've been shocked the last several years, and I've been kind of a late adopter of that kind of stuff. Like even this kind of technology that we're using right now. I'm still not like, this is a $300 HP laptop. That I'm doing all of this stuff on. A lot of the stuff that looks really good in my videos was done on my phone. I went to the iPhone 11 Pro in February. I've seen the commercials made on that phone. It's
it's insane. Yeah.
insanely good, and it's all right there at your fingertips.
All right there. Exactly. That's what it's all come down to, is just everything at your fingertips. And like you said, making things at home, and you don't have to go to a studio and a producer anymore. And
Right.
it's just so much easier to create.
Right. And I think people are a little more accepting of that level. It's so much of a higher level that people's ears aren't as attuned to the foibles
Yeah.
of the medium. You could always tell back in the day if somebody had, like, if it was just an 8-track studio.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, it's an 8-track studio. You could tell that the drums were all just recorded on 2 tracks,
Yep.
stereo mixed live to the 2. You could tell that, even amateur, people without any real training could tell. They're like, oh yeah, you could hear those home recordings.
Yeah, you probably hear the bleed from other instruments or other parts of the drums, I'm sure.
Exactly.
So it's harder to isolate those things.
Right. And now that doesn't exist. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, you've got complete control in a tiny, tiny package that's more powerful than what they took to the moon the last time,
Yeah.
So I think it's really
Yeah.
cool. I love the new technology and how it's really paid off. Like I said, for a lot of musicians, it's just really that I think it's allowed more people to be involved. It's like, oh, you just didn't have access to that even 10 years ago, let alone 20 or more. 10 years ago, it was still probably a little trickier.
Yeah.
Not so much anymore. And I really dig it.
You don't even have to be in the same room as the person you're recording with anymore.
Right.
Sending files back and forth, or sending the session back and forth. It's just seamless, and He's kicked.
As easy as doing an interview via, satellite here,
Oh, exactly right. Yeah.
through the ether. All right. What about
Yeah.
this last one? Here to the Moon. I like, now that seems a little more of a created video. You got a little, there's the rain thing going on at the beginning, and then you did that with the same dudes that did the Hey Love?
No, I did that with Brandon as well.
Okay, I was going to say that one felt more like a Brandon Lee video to me.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I can always kind of tell with his work. I guess he's it's like I said, it was another idea to do kind of a live take of it, and so I wanted to do a live performance, so we did several takes. But then it happened to be raining that day, so you could hear it coming down on the tin roof from that building, that art studio, and so we kind of just worked it in, really, and so added some other footage after that kind of worked with that vibe, and it works with the song really well, so it all kind of just fell into place.
Yeah, sweet.
Buy you a watch so I can give you all my time. Like two hands of a clock, I was hoping yours would soon be mine. Anything that you want, just tell me what you dream. Tell me all your dirty secrets and I'll tell you mine. Anything for you, anything from here to the moon, anything for you, anything from here to the moon. Let's go to the coast, see what comes of the tide. No, I don't have too much, but love is much sweeter when you find it. Let's get lost in a dream with only you and I there. We'll come back down and know we'll both be feeling so good, oh so good. Anything for you, anything from here to the moon, anything for you, anything from here to the moon. It's all just a matter of time, and we'll both be swimming home, and we'll both be treading water, trapped in the undertow. Anything for you, anything from here to the moon, anything for you, anything from here to the moon. From here to the moon.
Yeah, I like I said, that's what I've been enjoying the most out of this, doing this project, is that people, seeing the created videos, because that's the same, it's the same kind of level, as the recording stuff. Like I had Matthew Marcel on for my first episode, and he, was just kind of making stuff at his house by himself, and learning to do iMovie or whatever it was on an iPad, and taking recorded tracks and some live tracks, and mixing all that together and coming up with like really engaging kind of video content. And I guess that's what quarantine gets you.
Yeah.
Dig in and figure it out.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's a good idea. Yeah, I didn't think about like blending the original track and then getting like original or like a live vocal take. I've seen some artists do that. It'll be like a hybrid recording, but live aspects.
Sure.
It's cool. There's a million different ways. I guess you can do it these days with the flexibility. So
why don't you, so I always tell people at the end, tell me where we can find all your stuff. You've got, obviously got a Spotify, and is it just Eric Pedigo? Find me, Yeah,
you can Google Eric Pedigo. You can go to ericpedigomusic.com. Any search on, I guess it'd be Instagram, Pedigo Eric that's where I'm most active. So if you want to keep up to date with my latest shows and videos, video clips I'm posting of songs and things like that.
Cool.
That's where you can find them.
All right. I think we got everything we need.
Awesome. I appreciate you having me, man. That was fun.
My pleasure. Thanks for doing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll look for you out there in the real world sometime.
Awesome.
Well, thanks for being on, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'll catch you later.
Have a good one. Have a good afternoon.
You too.
See you later. That's it for tonight, folks. Special thanks to Eric Pedigo for hanging out and giving me a little bit of his time tonight, showing us his new video projects and talking about what he's got going on. And an extra special thanks to you guys for tuning in and hanging out and sharing this content with your friends so that they can be aware of what's going on in our beautiful city and what our entertainment has to offer. So I'm Brent Schlemmer for New Music 30. We'll see you again next week.
Been in and out of love, I've been in and out of love. Won't you shine on me? Won't you shine?